aka Crafting Diva. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel today. Hope you're all doing well. If you're new to my channel, big hello and welcome. I'm Lisa. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. And if you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for joining me once again today. And as you can see from the title of this video, this is part 2 of my DIY craft trolley storage boxes. Yeah, I don't know if you're aware, but last week or the week before I uploaded a little tutorial showing you how I made my little stencil and stamp storage boxes. I wanted some boxes that I could hang on the side of my trolley to organise my Tim Holtz stencils and stamps, but I needed a box or a container that was flat at the back and would sit nicely on the side of my craft trolley. I couldn't find anything, so I had to go making something myself. I was really pleased with how my boxes turned out, and because I made them all Tim Holtz theme, I thought I'd post some pictures on the Tim Holtz Addicts Facebook page. And yeah, I was absolutely blown away with the amazing kind comments I got. I kept getting asked, how did I make them, where did I get them from? So I promised the followers of that page I would do a little tutorial, and I uploaded that a couple of weeks ago, and that was the tutorial of how I made my stencil box. And I promised you in that video that I would come back and do another little tutorial on showing you how I made the stamp box. So yeah, I will leave a link to the stencil box tutorial in that description box if you like to go and check it out. But yeah, it's really quite a simple little box to make, but really effective, stores your stencils and stamps perfectly. And basically it's just a nice box with a nice flat back, and all it does is uses a little clip like this sort of clip here to clip onto your trolley, and then the little box goes through the little gap that we make at the top and it holds onto your trolley like so. Like before, as you would have seen, I've added a little video at the beginning so you can see how these store on the trolley. So like I say, I did the stencil box in the last video, and I thought I'd come back and show you the stamp box today. And as you can see, they're different thicknesses. They're basically the same sort of box construction, just that your measurements are going to be different. So let's just move these out of the way. Like before, to make these boxes you will need 2 pieces of A4 cardstock. I'm going to make mine in white cardstock, so hopefully you can see them measurements and the score lines a little bit better. I actually made my boxes in black cardstock. Would recommend quite a nice heavyweight cardstock, but we're going to reinforce the box and we're going to add pattern papers and decorate it, and as you do that it will get stronger and stronger. So like I say, to get started you're going to need 2 pieces of A4 cardstock, and I'm going to again use my Score Easy to do my scoring, and my measurements are going to be in centimetres. As before, I will leave the details of the score lines in that description box below. Love you to go and check that out, and then it'll give you all the score measurements, and you can always pause the video and watch me back. So let's get started. First of all, you want to put your piece of A4 cardstock on your scoreboard, or you could use a embossing tool and a ruler if you just mark out these measurements. And you want to butt your piece of cardstock right to the very point of your scoreboard, and we want to do our first score at 4 centimetres all the way down the piece of A4 cardstock. Then we want a score at 15 centimetres and then 19 centimetres, like so, all the way down the piece of A4 cardstock. So the measurements again were score at 4 centimetres, 15 centimetres and 19 centimetres. And again you get left with this little piece of cardstock that is waste cards that we don't need. So if I bring my trimmer in, we just want to trim that little piece off like so. And then we want to put our piece of card back on our scoreboard, and this time turn it round. And then at the bottom we want to score at 4 centimetres all the way across. So That is 4 centimeters score at the bottom. So once we've done that, we want to bring in our other piece of cardstock, and again do the exact same measurement. So butt your piece of A4 cardstock right to the corner of your scoreboard, and we want to score at 4 centimeters, 15 centimeters and 19 centimeters. Again, we want to bring our trimmer in and cut that piece of excess cardstock off like so. Take that out of the way, and then we want to turn our piece of A4 card, and we want to score at 4 centimeters again at the bottom. So that is all our score marks. As I say, I will leave those in that description box below so you can check them out. So now we've got 2 pieces of card with all our score lines. So what we want to do now is make our little flaps at the bottom. So we cut along the little score lines that we have made like so, and then we want to make these into some little tabs. So we cut into sort of a little triangle shape like so, so these make our little folding flaps, and then we want to go through and fold all our score lines up. So this one is going to be the back of our box. So if we stick this one together, then it can be drying while we do the front of our box. So you want to get some glue. I would recommend you use glue and red liner tape or really strong double-sided tape, because you want this nice and firm to hold your box together. So let's just get a little clip to hold that together so it can be drying. And then we want to put some glue and tape onto our other tab here like so. Again, line it up and get our little clip to hold that. So we'll put that to one side so that can be drying. So this is going to be the back of our box, and then we want to do the same for this one here, because this is going to be the front of our box. Again, we want to cut this. So we've got some little tabs like so. So we've got our little tabs. Take those excess pieces of card out of the way. Again, we want to go through and score our score lines so they will fold up nice. And then what we want to do is get a ruler, and we want to measure up from our very bottom score line to, I think we did 19 centimeters on the last one, so we'll do that again. Mark at 19 centimeters, because this is going to be the front of our box, and we want to be able to get our hand into the box to easily get our stencil or our stamp out. So we want to cut at 19 centimeters there, so that the front is a little bit shorter than the back. And then let's bring our back in, check that's all dried nicely, which it has. So now we want to stick our front of our box onto the back of our box, and as you can see, we've got a nice thick wide box now this time. So let's put some glue onto this little side. Again, I would 100% recommend you use red liner tape, really strong double-sided tape and glue to make this a really nice strong fit. And then we want to place this onto the side like so. Just check we've got our levels all lined up, which we have. Hold that there, and then we want to put some glue, tape all on this other side here. Plenty of glue. Try and glue this as best I can. Again, check we've got our levels like so. Right, just give that a minute for the glue to take. Give it a little rub like so. Come on, glue. And then what we want to do is stick our little tabs here at the bottom, again with glue and double-sided tape. We want this lovely and nice and firm, especially as we will be using this for stamp storage. Let's get this glue to take. So just give it a second for the glue to take, and then we want to put tape and glue at the bottom like so, and then pull that piece up like so to glue like. Okay, so then if we flip over, we've got our little box. Really nice, a nice wide sides to it, so we can get plenty of stamps inside. And then what we want to do is make our little tab in the back for our little clip to go through. And all I did to make this was just drew a little rectangle in the back of the box like so. You want to bring your clip in and just check your clip is going to fit through the little rectangle, and then you want to take a craft knife and very gently cut that little rectangle out. Obviously mind your fingers as you're doing this, like so. And that will be your little rectangle for your little clip to fit through. Whoop. When it is sitting on your trolley. Again, I 100% recommend you reinforce this box by putting a piece of card here, some on the back, some on your right on the very back, and then you can decorate it how you like with papers. You can do a nice stamp background however you like, and as you can see, it's very similar to the previous tutorial. It's just your measurements that are slightly different. And like I say, if you've got bigger cardstock, you can make this even wider, so you could have 5 centimeter sides and bottom, or you could go even bigger. It's just you've got to make sure your measurements are the same for the side and the bottom, and then your length is fine, whatever you like to do. So really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like I said, it's very similar to the stencil tutorial. It's just the score lines are slightly different, so that you've got the bit thicker box, a bit wider box to hold your stamps. And like I say, you can do these anyhow you like. I've done another little box here, and this one is holding my clearly besotted stamps. And yeah, as I said, I've done mine in black cardstock. It's lovely and firm, and then I've just decorated this one with some gorgeous little rose paper and this gorgeous teal and pink check paper in the very back. So yeah, really great little box, works for all sorts of storage. Great to have it on the side of your trolley so you can have your items right next to you. So yeah, really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hope it was easy to follow. Like I said, I will leave the score lines in that description box below. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. I'd love you to leave me any comments. I'd love you to tell me what you think of my little storage boxes. Are you going to have a go at making some for yourself? If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that little bell icon for notifications of my brand new videos. And I hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.